The Enclave was once the heart of magical development and trade for practitioners of magic all across the Maida Basin. Not all weavers claimed it as their home, but those that did built a legacy of progress, constructs, and innovation. The likes of which have not been seen since the Surge, almost half a century ago, when a cascade of arcane disasters racked the Maida, and without warning, the Enclave sealed itself away behind a magical wall known as the Veil. Rich and powerful leaders were wounded and killed. Decades of war broke out. Every nation suffered an economic collapse. The world is calmer now, but magic has been shunned, taking the blame for decades of unrest. Weavers remain pariahs to this day. Most places tolerate us if we don't stay too long. While some weavers remember what it was like before the Surge, I've never known a time when weavers had a home. I chose this life years ago, but I'd be lying if I said it has lived up to all I hoped it would be. Stop! Still, my luck might be changing. A few weeks ago, I began traveling with a new weaver band. Now, they've brought me here, where it all began.
Oh.
Careful.
Thanks.
Bryn! Over here. What do you think?
When you told me that joining your band meant I'd see the Veil.
No one's been this close in years. The base is shrouded in tangles. Weavers have known about this safe zone in the Veil's shadow for decades, but no one has found a route into it. You have no idea what I had to do to puzzle out this passage.
I definitely want to hear that story later.
My hope is that we're going to find artifacts from the Enclave itself deeper into the shadow. I'll stay to oversee the camp setup. Why don't you take the preliminary scouting expedition?
Really?
Of course. It's important for the other weavers to see how you do in the field. The map I bartered for in Tarza suggests there's a watchtower deeper into the valley. Shouldn't be too far from where we are.
That's my first landmark, then?
Yes, it should help us get our bearings before we start the search for the Strand Road. And if you make any discoveries, that will endear you to the band.
For sure. I'd love to find my footing with the rest of them.
I'll act as the watcher on the scry and pull you back if anything gets too dangerous. Just steer clear of the tangles. Any questions before you head out?
The Strand Road?
A famous trade route into the Enclave that led straight to Denevron, the hub for bartering magical goods. Before the Surge, caravans used the Strand Road to enter and exit the Enclave with their goods. It's been completely submerged by tangles, unfortunately. Still, if we can get any closer to that passage, we will find rare artifacts lost in the Surge.
I know the scry is a standard device across weaver bands, but my previous leader, Aaron, didn't really make use of ours.
He sent you on expeditions without it?
I mean, I wore the earpiece, But he didn't exactly stay close to the table at the camp while I was out.
That's incredibly dangerous. I'm surprised you're still alive.
Yeah. Anyway, mind explaining how it works in your Weaver Band?
When you go on an expedition, you'll wear the earpiece which allows me to communicate with you and give directions from the scry table. At the table, everyone will be able to watch your expedition and communicate with you as needed. The last, most important function of the scry is that it allows me to use magic to pull you back to camp when your life is in danger.
Right. That clears up anything I needed to know. I'll head to the watchtower.
Glad to hear it. You can head out then. No visuals on the scry. Can you hear me?
I can. Some interference, though.
Must be the tangles. Still, strong enough to pull you out like you practiced. Dom?
I'm on it.
The veil. Even more impressive up close.
Just this. Should magnify the enchantment and...
The tangles. Beautiful.
And deadly. Give them a wide berth. The closer you get to the veil, the thicker they'll become.
its shadow is believed to be impenetrable.
Until now.
That wall is completely frozen.
We should expect enchantments to act strangely this close to the veil.
See those glowing bulbs? Infernal alliums. They combust when broken.
So, if I toss one at the wall, its fire will melt the ice.
Brilliant! Best to use kinetic magic to keep clear of the blast.
Knowing the watchtower's relative position establishes the distance to the Strand Road. You can come back to... What is that?
Coral. There were rumors of a living mineral that grew deep beneath the Enclave's surface. It seems they were true.
There's more of it in that cave. I could take a closer look.
Too risky to deviate from the plan. First outing was just to reach the watchtower.
This is going well. I say we check it out before finishing the expedition. Beautiful. I've never seen anything like it.
Dan's right about it being a living mineral. I can feel it humming with magic.
Wait, I'm losing...
Aurea?
Connections back.
Was that a drake?
Yeah.
Pulling you out.
Mira's breath. I knew this was a bad idea.
We can't extract you.
Darm, fix it. And Lane have tonics on standby for her return. Good. Head out of the cave so we can get our bearings.
It's an Ash Peak drake.
Quick, your frost magic can cool a path. Good. Darn's still working on the scribe, but you need to keep moving. Lane, got anything from the map?
There should be a minor patrol path ahead that loops back to the watchtower. It runs close to the Vale, though.
It's our only option.
I'm on it.
Aurea, that Drake's acting like...
Let's just focus on getting her back safe.
I'll go back to unpacking the armory.
Nice work. Keep moving. Damn it, Casmin was right. That Drake is rutting. Erratic flight. Aggressive. It won't stop.
Skies, what do we do?
We get you back to the caravan fast. Clear line of fire. Good time to use your bow.
If I'm reading the map correctly, following this brook should lead to the path guards used to reach the watchtower prior to the surge.
That Drake is never far behind. Just keep going. You're doing great, Bryn. Final stretch.
That can't be an ark.
No one has seen one in almost 50 years, let alone outside the Veil.
The Archons never left the Enclave. Still, you need to get... You've got to hold it off. We'll work on an escape plan.
This isn't the strangest.
What the? Hang on, Bryn.
Everything okay back there?
Change of plans, everyone! Pack up!
You're... What?
We're coming to you, Bryn. Follow that arc. We need to go. Now. Up ahead! Lead! Ah!
I'm fine. Keep moving!
Guys, the arc!
Has anyone else noticed we're practically sitting on a loom gate?
That can wait, Dom. Aurea, you should be resting. If your wing doesn't heal, our point is out of commission.
That's what I need to address. While my wing recovers, Bryn will take over expeditions as our acting point.
You sure she's ready for all of this?
Bryn did face down an Ash Peak Drake and lived to tell the tale. I think we're in good hands.
Yes. I have every confidence that she will make a great point.
As long as we don't all die here first.
Our arrival was rocky, but I will do everything in my power to ensure our survival. If we avoid unnecessary risks, we'll be back on our feet in no time.
I'm glad you're taking this seriously.
Exactly. When we first set out to investigate the Veil's shadow, we had the Enclave was once a safe haven for all weavers, and the pinnacle of innovation. Since the Veil went up, weavers took the blame for decades of war, all because of what happened here. We owe it to ourselves and to our brethren across the Maida to find out not just what happened, but why. Maybe then, weavers can find our place in the world again. But first, survival. Bryn, that's you and me. Find me when you're ready. Adjourned.
The scry. The whole band gathers around when I'm away from camp. It's nice to have people literally watching my back. Sev, how are you holding up?
Oh, fine. I mean, I'm trapped inside a magic bubble that's filled to the brim with life-threatening creatures. Also, left an entire known world behind, and I'll probably never see remnants of my past life again. But, you know, I'm fine.
Hey! At least Sola did half your unpacking. No sprained back muscles for you.
True, and no back pain. In a few days, I might die from a creature attack. But at least I'll leave a corpse with good posture.
Sev.
This apprenticeship is turning into more than I signed up for.
That is completely understandable. Well,
Yeah. You're probably right. Listen, I should get back to helping Sola.
of course. I'm here for you, Sev. We all are.
Sure.
Loom gates must need a massive source of magic to function. Instantaneous transit across hundreds of leagues.
Dom? Hello? Everything okay?
Brain, you are going to check out the loom gate at some point, right?
Yeah, of course.
Good, good. Why it refuses to function is a mystery we must unravel together. A priority.
Not worried about our survival in an unknown land filled with volatile magic like the others?
Details! There is so much to discover, survival will take care of itself. Or Casman will insist it does, at least. So, our acting point. Is your heart racing at the prospect of traversing these lost lands?
Growing up in Carnhaven, my father told me stories about the Enclave as I fell asleep. It's crazy to think I'm living through what once was just a bedtime story.
Perhaps you'll even become one. We are the first band to cross the Veil in half a century.
I hope history gives our story a more flattering beginning. Not sure I want our tale to start with us tripping over each other as we run from tangles.
With the most daring point to ever live, Bryn of Carnhaven, no one will remember our wobbly entrance.
Thanks, Dom.
Of course. Now, if you'll excuse me, something else is tugging at my attention.
Loom gates.
Loom gates.
I wonder how this arc managed to get us through the Veil.
By the looks of it, it was a one-way ticket.
Well, the Enclave built many arcs and other magical constructs. I've never heard of one designed to repel Drake's breath, though.
You think we might find another arc that could help us escape?
Or possibly repair this one? It must be special somehow. As Aurea said, the arcs never left the Enclave, yet this one did.
We know as much as we can from looking at it. Time to start exploring if we want to find answers. Lane, you seem lost in thought. Settling in all right?
Oh, Bryn. Yes, I am. And you? I notice you've been checking in with the others at the camp.
You did? Are you spying on me?
Oh, of course not. It's my vocation to observe. Not just you, everyone. In fact, if you'd like, I can tell you a little about the others. You are newer to our band, after all.
Sev is relatively new to the team too. Has Sola taken on smithing apprentices before him?
No, she's never had an apprentice before. I don't know how he came to be her apprentice either. No one seems to.
That's a little odd.
Not really. Typically, Ram are very secretive, culturally speaking. Sev may remain an enigma. I wish he would open up, though. I'd like to learn more about his people.
Lane, offering insight about the others is nice, but I came here to talk about you.
Oh, me?
Yeah. Tell me about yourself.
There's not much to know, really. I suppose I'm the typical third child to a second son of a patriarch of a minor mercantile house in Judea.
What?
I've enjoyed the experience of growing up in a family embroiled in feuds so long-standing that no living relative can recall inciting incidents firsthand. At a young age, scholastic endeavors became my escape from the familial turmoil until I could finally leave home, and so on and so forth. Nothing but a classical presentation of third-child issues in a Judean mercantile family.
Right. And how are you feeling since we entered the Enclave?
Truthfully, I'm not sure. Nothing's really wrong, but never mind.
You sure? Whatever's on your mind, I'm happy to listen.
Yesterday, entering the Enclave in our lifetime seemed impossible, yet today, here we are. It strikes me as an opportunity that was profoundly easy to miss. That's all. Anyway, thanks for listening.
So after all the legends, this is it. The Enclave.
Legends for you, maybe. Some of us trained under weavers who were born here. Still, it is surreal to see it for myself now. You're going to be out there, exploring. Promise to take it all in for me.
I was made for this, Aurea. Failure hasn't even crossed my mind.
Watch that ego. Overconfidence can come back to smack you in the face. That said, getting smacked in the face is your job from time to time. Just learn from it when you can.
I know. I got this.
Anyway, enough with the sentimentality. For your first expedition, we need to get the lay of the land. Thankfully, Lane Free has an old map of the Enclave to help us get our bearings. It's 60 years old, pre-Surge. No chance it's accurate, but that's where you come in.
I'll update it as I go.
Exactly. We've made camp in what was once a way station for caravans entering the Enclave. Just below us is Glintwood Hollow, a valley on the outskirts of the Enclave. I've scanned it from the Overlook, and we've got 2 landmarks of note. A second loom gate, and what appears to be a giant statue, possibly an ark.
You can see it from here? Must be massive.
If either is functional, Dom will throw you a party. I'll be with you on the scry. With fewer tangles, we're hoping the connection will be stronger. The path is down by your tent.
I'll head out now. So this is a loom gate. It's taller than I expected.
The Enclave constructed these for transit. Oh, imagine being able to travel leagues instantly. If only it were working.
There's no sign of damage. It just seems inert.
Deactivated, perhaps? Or simply lacking the energy such a powerful enchantment would need.
You'd know better than any of us. If we could get it working, though.
Oh, the possibilities. All the places we could go. Oh, to hold the hand of my most darling wife as we whisked around the Enclave. Metaphorically, of course. The loom gates famously moved people one at a time. Too dangerous otherwise, I imagine.
Do you two need some privacy?
Solar, your genius is just, what was that, Bryn? Yes. Yes, I think we need to go theorize together.
Sure, if you say so.
Trust me, it's not a euphemism. Dom really loves theorizing.
I've got you clear of the sands of summer, Bryn.
No interference from the Enclave.
None. The connection is much stronger than outside the Vale.
That's reassuring.
More arcs.
And they're clearly happy we're here.
Arcs were supposed to be used for manual labor. Hostility is strange. Fresh water, in walking distance of the campsite.
I'll set up a purifier for it and collect later.
Hydra's Brook, aptly named for the spirit of water that flows.
Creatures could be hunted for food. Any of these plants look edible?
Dom will put anything in his mouth if he's curious enough. Whatever he doesn't vomit, we'll eat.
Just try not to poison him.
This must be Hyndra's lake.
But lakes are still. Why name it after the spirit of flowing water?
I was right. It is an ark. A great one.
It isn't moving. I'll get a closer look.
Book of the Stricken Earth, I would guess. Any chance you could bring a piece of it back to camp?
Doubt my sword is strong enough.
Too bad. Strange that it's just standing there.
Maybe the second loom gate will tell us more. Enclave constructs are believed to be interconnected in many ways.
That's the edge of how far I can push the scribe. It'd be like in the Veil's shadow all over again.
loom gate.
What's covering the base?
I'll check it out. A lot of debris on the platform. I could clear it with kinetic magic.
What about the loom gate itself? Is it functional?
no sign of life, but see that cloud of raw magic? It's leaking from the broken pipe near the edge of the platform.
So we have 2 powerless loop gates and a tangle leaking out of an enclave construction. I wonder if Lane still has that treatise we picked up in Tarza.
And he's gone. Good news. Lane found a shortcut back to our camp for you, and we've got the Wisp working.
The Wisp?
Watch as Wisp. Channel a little magic into your earpiece. I'll redirect it to guide you from the scribe to the shortcut.
I see the path.
Good. That should take you to the shortcut.
That should be it. According to my map, it's a man-made tunnel that grants easy access to the way station.
Bryn's back. Let's fill her in.
We believe we found a way to activate the Loom Gate in our camp and in Glintwood Hollow.
With the Loom Gate active, we could expand our search of the Enclave. Who knows what we might find?
The potential for discovery is endless.
Agreed. So, how do we repair a Loom Gate?
What made the Enclave remarkable was not merely their constructs, but their ability to power them. It has long been rumored that beneath our very feet exists an extensive magical network known as the Tapestry. The pipe you found in Glintwood Hollow is proof of its existence. It must be a conduit that directs raw magic to the Loom Gates as a source of power.
And the tangle that formed around it was a leak.
Precisely. Our theory is that patching the rupture will restore power to the gate.
Thankfully, Seven Lane have a plan for that.
We don't know a lot about arcs, but I dug up some old stories from logs that we inherited from a weaver band that broke apart. In notes dated before the Surge, this band managed to get one of the enchanters who worked on the arcs riotously drunk and talking.
Apparently, the Arks have a thin carapace between their skin and their armor plates that's nigh immune to magic, and can be separated in segments. A magically resistant material like that would be perfect to seal a rupture in the tapestry.
So I need to cleave this carapace off the Ark. There's no way my sword is strong enough.
Come see me and we can make some improvements to Sola's forge. Which, in turn, means...
I could hone your sword so we can cleave the carapace, no problem.
We'll talk.
One more thing. You'll need to remove the debris on the Loom Gate's platform so that we've got a clear workspace once the patch is forged.
Easy enough?
Everyone's got a part to play in this. Let's get to work.
Hey, I know we need to fix up the forge, but before we do, I'd like to talk to you about something.
Sure. What's up?
I owe you an apology.
What for?
I've been a little cold since you've arrived, and I should have been more welcoming. I was just under a lot of stress with everything that happened.
You mean when we ran for our lives from a death cloud into a lost land?
Yeah, that. And losing supplies, and Aurea getting injured, and then having a point takeover who...
Lacks experience.
At the time, that's what it seemed like. But ever since we arrived, you've been more than proving yourself. You made finding food and water a top priority. That's when I realized our Weaver band is in good hands. I underestimated you when I shouldn't have, and frankly, I was a jerk about it.
It's okay, Cass.
No, it's not. I really am sorry.
Oh, thanks. That means a lot. Let's just start fresh, okay?
I'd love that.
So, I know Sola mentioned improvements to her forge meant being able to hone my sword. What does that entail exactly?
Unfortunately, the missing supplies I mentioned.
Is there a way I can help you restock?
Right now, we reserve the materials you bring back for your armors and weapons, because that's the priority. But if there's anything you can spare, I can repurpose them into supplies for our campsite.
Sounds simple enough.
Glad to hear it. These are a great start. With the supplies we've got already, we could shape up our campsite. We lost a lot of stuff when we were running for our lives, and frankly, our setup is only half of what it should be. But we can rebuild.
What do you have in mind?
Like we discussed, Sola could forge better weapons with improvements to her smithy. Like honing your sword so it can cut through arc armor. Alternatively, Dom could certainly cure better for our mantles with new tools for weaving. And to keep you in fighting form, having Lane's alchemical tools in top form is invaluable. There's no end to the improvements we could make around here. And everyone's lives would be safer for it.
What about you?
Me? Oh, I don't need anything.
Come on, there must be something.
I mean, would new shelves be nice? Sure. I also have some ideas for your supply pouches. But don't worry about me. I'm fine. Right now, improving Sola's forge is more important.
I know our band has made the most of what we've got so far, but who wouldn't like a fresh coat of paint? This is a great idea.
Thanks, Bren. Sola is delighted with the improvements to her forge. She can refine your sword as soon as you'd like. Great work, Bryn.
Turns out we make a pretty good team. This campsite will be top of the line in no time.
Yeah. We're definitely going to need to start directing a water flow to the camp. Maybe even install a fountain in the back. Would help to get a garden going in here too. Fruits, vegetables, medicinal herbs. Oh, that reminds me, we'll need the... What?
Do you ever take a break? You know, to enjoy a job well done?
Sure. Sometimes. Once there are fewer fires to put out, I'll relax. I swear.
Just try to remember, it's not the end of the world if you take a break. Someone will step in to help lighten your load.
It doesn't always feel like the others realize how much needs to get done.
Then tell them. Like how you told me we needed supplies. I stepped in to help, didn't I?
You did. I see your point.
The others will do the same.
Maybe. I'd better get back to work, but... this was nice. Aurea, it's Lane, by the way.
What's that?
They don't like to be called Lane Free. I heard you saying it to Bryn earlier.
I knew we'd recover. We always do. Still feels nice to have my core tools back this quickly.
Still a long way to go, but we'll get there.
Speaking of, I've something for you. We've been scavenging around the way station and reclaimed a fair amount of useful materials. They're stored away and ready for you. Should be enough to reforge your sword as we discussed.
Sounds like it's time to make something that can punch through arc armor.
That's the spirit.
I was impressed by how you had a little, but you kept...
Your tent. Might not be glamorous, but you can rest here when you're not gallivanting on expeditions.
It's perfect.
Don't know about perfect. I could have done a better job if we didn't lose half our supplies when we passed through the Vale.
Seriously, I didn't have anything close to this in Aaron's band. Half the time I was lucky if I didn't sleep on dirt.
Ira's breath. Was Aaron running from out of Turdville? He sounds like the worst.
Yeah. I always knew he wasn't a great point. But traveling with you guys is making me realize how bad he actually was.
Yeah, you deserve a break. Ideally, one that involves a nap on blankets instead of dirt. I'll leave you to get settled.
point. What a beautiful view.
sword and board. There you go. Not just good as new. Better.
Now that I can cut the carapace free, what's next?
Whenever the band is collaborating on a problem, I'm often the one to create the design, and you'll put it together with me. At least normally they're my designs. Sev actually came up with this one. With carapace and enough metal, I can forge his patch for the leaking conduit.
Any particular metal required?
No, just enough of the same type. Sev and I try to keep our designs flexible to work with whatever we've got on the caravan. Once you have everything we need, we'll forge the patch here.
two wonders of enchanting, an arc and loom gates. We can touch them, smell them if we want. And they don't work. Maddening.
Did you
Did I what?
smell the loom gate?
A little, but that's beside the point. But mossy, hints of sage, a subtle yet full-bodied undertone of dirt.
Amazing. Well, now we just need to get it working.
Oh yes, should our plan succeed.
And if not?
Then it is time for Plan B, which I have not yet thought up, but I'm sure we won't need. Solar, this plan to repurpose Carapace to fix the loom gate's conduit? Pure elegance.
Sev's idea. I only helped him with the design.
You did more than help. You practically finished it.
What is this?
All right. With kinetic magic, I should be able to clear the base of the loom gate.
you're coming up on the Ark of the Stricken Earth. With a stronger sword, hopefully...
This might take a while.
You'll need to swing harder to cut through armor that thick.
What's happening?
Retrieving the carapace is going to be trickier than we thought.
Is she really ready to fight that thing?
Catch your breath. When you're ready, you can climb the Ark to attack it from different angles. See those discs? Those are holding the armor in place. That's it! Hit the exposed skin with everything you've got. Magic isn't coursing through that patch of skin anymore. Move on.
I was worried we might lose our chance to get the caravans. You secured it.
Any concerns about using the Archon strand, Dom?
Concerns? None. Excitement? Considerable. We should be able to weave that strand into your mantle, Bryn.
Perfect.
You think this patch will fix the leaking pipe?
Yes. Once you clear the debris on the Loom Gates platform in Glintwood Hollow, we should be ready.
That's next on the list.
After that, you can tell Arya we've got what we need to fix the gate.
Me?
Acting or otherwise, major communication should come from the point.
I'll keep that in mind. All right. With kinetic magic, I should be able to clear the base of the loop gate. Whew. All done.
Nice work, Bryn. We should have enough space to work on fixing that pipe now.
The patch is ready, and I've cleared the debris at the loom gate in Glintwood Hollow.
Excellent work, Bryn. Time for you to take a well-earned rest while the band heads into the Hollow.
You sure you don't need me to come?
We've got this. And you need the break.
All right, if you say so. Aurea, how's it going?
Bryn, you're awake. We're making progress over here. Careful with that.
Hey, no one came back to camp, did they? Is the rest of the band still with you?
We're all here. And the leak is just about fixed.
Hey, wait, I just want to talk. That was incredible.
Hey, couldn't have done it without you.
Actually, we couldn't have done it without Sev. I didn't expect you to have such a deft hand with magical conduits.
I'm not... I mean... We just got lucky it held.
Not to distract from the victory, but something happened while you were gone. I saw something.
A Hearthsider?
Maybe. The figure was masked and standing at the edge of the camp. I think they were watching me. Before they disappeared.
How friendly.
If there are people still left in the Enclave, we need to find them. They can tell us what happened here.
Yes. I was just thinking we should chase down the scary masked figure that likes to watch Bryn sleep.
Since we arrived, we've been speculating about what may have happened after the surge. But no one here knows the truth. Only Hearthsiders could tell us that. I think the truth is worth the risk that they may be hostile.
You're right. We won't find answers standing here.
Friendly or hostile, if there are Hearthsiders, we need to find them.
Agreed.
And the good news is, fixing the Loom Gate didn't just give us easier access to Glintwood. It expanded our scry's reach.
So scries are somehow connected to the Enclave's tapestry.
Every scry was built here.
This means you not only have access to the Loom Gate, but you can safely explore further.
Incidentally, our maps indicate that there is a village beyond the Hollow in a large swathe of wetlands known as Dredger's Mire.
Perhaps we'll find our Hearthsider there. Bryn, why don't you brief with Lane before your next expedition?
Sounds good.
After that, it's time to use the Loom Gate.
Why didn't you guys return using it yourselves?
We needed to take a key swatch back to camp in order to connect the two. We'll make sure you have a key swatch to connect any other loom gates to this one from now on.
Here to brief?
I like to know everything I can before venturing off to a new place.
Just beyond the forested hills of Glintwood Hollow lies the wetlands known as Dredger's Mire. Much like the Hollow, the Enclave prospected many of the raw materials needed for its ambitious constructs and projects from the mire. Oh, it's no coincidence you found the Ark of the Stricken Earth near a collapsed mine. Like I believe, the natural surroundings of the mire were also rich in resources. The Enclave even settled a small village there known as Poldervale.
Which is where I might find that masked figure that was watching me.
It's possible. Regardless, do you have any questions before you head out?
Thanks for the info, Lane. I think I'm ready to head out.
My pleasure. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I didn't have the biggest role to play in the Loom Gate's repair. I'm not exactly handy with a hammer. But watching the band work gave me an idea for a new alchemical project. Its working name is a Loom Shard.
A loom shard?
Yes, it's a shard that could draw magic from a Loom Gate and bring you back to camp safely, wherever you are.
How is this different from Aurea pulling me back with the scry?
Unaided, Aurea can only summon enough magic to bring you back safely, not all the valuables you might have collected on your expedition. Because this shard draws magic from the tapestry, it can bring you back safely with all you've gathered.
Thanks, Lane.
Ready?
Let's do this.
First trip through the Loom Gate is a success.
Hopefully more trips to come. To new and exciting places.
The Sodden Pass. A fitting name for the road to the wetlands.
According to the maps, you're getting close to Dredger's Mire. I know you're excited to explore, but first things first. Use our key swatch with the loom gate in the mire, so that it's easy to return.
Right. I'll check the maps.
Perfect. I can see the connection. We'll be able to come back whenever we'd like.
Without having to trek through all the mud.
The beauty of instantaneous travel. Keys watches are an ingenious system for connecting loom gates together. My darling, I suspect the way the light filters through the Enclave's veil makes you look more luminous than ever.
Stop. It'll go to my head.
Should I come back later? I didn't mean to interrupt you two.
Sorry, Bryn. Sometimes we get lost in our little world.
But since you're here, I was actually hoping to speak with both you and Sola.
Oh?
I don't know if you know this, but my wife is an extremely talented smith who was apprenticed under a variety of world-class teachers.
Well, a revolving door of mentors doesn't exactly facilitate the most stable education, especially when one of them drops dead in front of you.
Oh, details. You've made more of your varied experience than most could glean from a lifetime. Anyway, I know you always hoped to further your education with the Tarmakine Smithing School's techniques. So, I asked Lane to look into whether or not any Tarmakine smithing was ever practiced here in the Enclave.
Oh, doll. You shouldn't have. It's sweet, but there are other priorities.
What could be more pressing than helping my wife fulfill her lifelong dreams? As luck would have it, there were Tarmakine smiths here before the Surge.
Really?
Perhaps our daring point might be able to keep a lookout for anything those smiths might have left behind?
I mean, if it's too much trouble.
Of course. I'd be happy to help.
Perfect. I'll leave you to discuss the details.
Anything in particular I should look for?
The Tarmakine smithing techniques are exceptionally complex, and as such, pretty rare across the Maida. It might be too much to hope for anything close to a completed armor set, but prototypes or even notes pertaining to the style would be useful. I'd take anything you can find.
Got it. I'll keep an eye out.
Thanks, Bryn.
This is Poldervale, but what happened? The village is completely frozen.
This can't be natural.
I think it's safe to say no one lives here. Where else could I look for a hearth cider?
I can't quite remember why, but something tells me you should search for a watchtower. The maps indicate there may be some nearby.
Doubt security would be active if the village was vacated.
Just trust me on this. I've got some cross-referencing to do.
All right, Bryn. You heard them.
Watchtower. Got it. Another Drake.
This one doesn't seem as aggressive. Must not be rutting.
Should leave you alone unless you get close.
Just like home. You're round a corner and a glacier's right there to greet you. There's a watchtower ahead.
Found the tome I was looking for. It mentioned that key swatches were held by security in the Enclave's more remote villages. It ensured their loom gates could be reconnected to more central locations if needed. Perhaps our Heartsider won't be in the watchtower, but a key swatch to Denevran could be.
Genius, mate. Nice work.
According to this logbook, all the key swatches were removed from the Poldervale Watch a few years after the surge.
Strange.
But there was one key swatch that was borrowed and never returned by the mayor at his residence in Poldervale.
Perhaps it's still there.
It'll be tough for me to withstand the cold long enough to search for it.
The rest of the band could help you navigate that. Try discussing the challenge with a few of them next time you're at camp.
There's no way this is natural. Feels like frost magic.
Hold on, hold on.
Got the key swatch. And unfettered access to the Enclave's capital.
Amazing, Bryn.
Denevron awaits.
Impressive, Bryn. We're on our way to Denevron.
Everyone helped. I just did my part.
In a well-run band, everything takes teamwork, that's for sure. But don't downplay your role in this. Since you've been Crisis promoted to Point, we've felled a great arc, restored a construct, and not everyone could accomplish what you have, let alone in our current circumstances. In fact, most would crumble under the pressure.
Don't get me wrong, I know I'm doing good here. But honestly, having just left a band that fought and backstabbed one another, I really appreciate the level of teamwork that went into this. The others are lifting me up, and I don't take that for granted.
That's good to hear. I know they're as impressed with you as I am.
Thanks, Aurea.
Now, enough talk. You've got a city to explore.